Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap pre-market homework session and trade plan setup for Friday, May the 6th, 2014. Thank goodness it's Friday. My name's Doug McKay, and I am the founder and head moderator for Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is a self-organized learning environment. We are retail traders helping retail traders. We have a private Skype room that's coming up on our anniversary of almost 5 years now. If you're interested in checking it out, you can give me a Skype contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, or you can send me an email at d.mckay@stealthtrader.com. Each morning we come together and talk about the market, and we go through this live go-to where I look at the structure of the market, where we've been, where we're going, look at the macro to the micro, and then set up our trade levels and our trade plan for the day. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, we do go through a basic routine, so you might want to just skip ahead until we get to some more in-depth analysis. Before I do anything, I have to get out of the legals, so this information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than their initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own plan and do your own diligence. Did I say it was the 6th? Oh, I said it was June 6th. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. It is June 6th, not May 6th. Sorry. Anyway, been a long night. Cut me a little bit of slack. All right, we're going to go right to the homework sheet. So, of course, overnight we have a new all-time high put in the Globex again. How about that? About them sneaking in these all-time highs in the Globex. 1943.75 is our new all-time high. Also our month high. So, of course, we've got that above us. We got lots below us, and there's really not much to look at in terms of the macro numbers, so we'll go right to the intraday. Yesterday we opened the Globex at 25.50, had a Globex high of 34.25 and a low of 24. We opened the Globex out of range at 19.28. I'm going to just veer from our normal homework session for just 1 second because I want to talk about something and just point something out. So yesterday morning, our main hypothesis was I thought I made a duplication of this chart. There it is. Okay, there we go. So yesterday morning in the homework session, and I kept the room open, and I said, you know, all the risk yesterday was to the upside. I said, you know, the key line in the sand for us was going to be this 27.25. And I said, if we get below it, you can only take scalps because of the ECB and everything that was going on. We had severe risk to the upside. I said, if you're going to take shorts, you've got to take shorts and make them scalps and keep it tight, but just take your singles. Don't try to hit any long runs. And I said, if you get below 24, you can accelerate that down to 21 and look for responsive buyers to step in here at 21. And I said, but above 27, you cannot be short. You have to look to the long side because they were looking for range extension. We were looking at, and we'll go back to the homework sheet to look at this. We were looking at the fact that you know, we were getting you know, expansion in and this trend and this blow off top, but we were coiling and our 20-day ATRs were actually coiling and constricting. And I think this is going to set up for a breakout move and an expansion of the ATR. Our 20-day ATR, let's go back to the sheet now. Our 20-day ATR, okay, had gotten down, okay, below 12 on the RTH and below 14 on the full session. And yesterday morning I was saying this hasn't happened for quite some time. I said usually when this happens, especially when we're moving up and we're creating this, this breakout and price discovery on low volume. Look at the volume that we've had in the last few days. 700,000, 800,000, 800,000, 1,900,000, 800,000, 750, and on as we're moving up and we're constricting in the 20-day ATRs. I said this is going to give us a big breakout move. Well, what did we do? Our 20-day RTH was 11.15. We did almost 20 points yesterday. We completely blew it apart. So, we come in here and we do these sessions every day, and last night I got on the Quantum Leap room and I was kind of laminating about this, is the fact that I don't do this because I'm trying to get paid. I'm trying to do this so that people can have an engagement and a plan in place to take it. I mean, I don't know how many people actually took this move and took advantage of the session yesterday morning. But I mean, this was just too clear and too plain to see people trying to fade this move on this breakout yesterday. And I just, all day yesterday I was saying, why are you trying to fade this? There's nothing up here. There's no edge. If you're not long above 27, go home, do some research. I think that's what I said yesterday. Do research, take the day off, sharpen your edge another way. Don't put risk on the table when there's no edge. And the only edge was that 27 breakout, and above that it was be long, be strong, or go home. Anyway, I think I'm done my rant this morning. It was just frustrating to see some people yesterday trying to fade that move. Going back to the homework sheet. Sorry, I'm all over the place this morning. So we opened the Globex yesterday at 25 1/4. We had a high of 34 1/4, a low of 27. We opened out of range at 28. You can see that we've got now, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days, 2 weeks of this parabolic move to the upside. And who knows when the end is in sight. I mean, is it going to happen today? Who knows? But when you start looking at the COT report, which started our week this week, all the smart money is net negative now, and the retails are being left as bag holders as we get this blow off top. And this, gang, I think is the blow off top that we've been talking about and looking for a while. So I'm going to start looking at the short side very soon, but I got to see some weakness coming in because this can still go higher. Remember, we still have some upside potential. Let's go and look at that. I'm kind of all over the place right now, so I'm just going to go back to looking at the macro to the micro. So on the monthly, we've got good slope and separation on the 9 and the 20. We're now above the prior month and near all-time highs. We just put in on the unemployment report a brand new Globex all-time high at 43.75. The trend is still very much intact on the monthly. Oops, that should be the weekly. Same thing on the weekly. Now the weekly is starting to get overextended, and we're going to create this this technical gap on the weekly. But the trend itself is accelerating to the upside. On the daily, same thing. We said yesterday that this trend was strong on the daily, and we're getting this parabolic move, but it was paralleling the 9 EMA. We weren't creating any type of a technical gap. Well, now we got it. Now we've got our technical gap. So I'm looking for a sideways consolidation and a rotation, either or, to close this technical gap. But the trend itself is very much intact. Now when you go over to the geometric chart, we've been watching this energy point right here at 1955.50. And we've been paralleling the short-term upward sloping fork, and now we're moving away from the center line of this upward sloping fork. A move to test the upper line today will take us up into the 1950 area, but we've got this energy point that's due basically Tuesday or Wednesday of next week up here at 1955.50. So we still have some upside risk in my mind, but we're starting to see some signs that we're going to get some exhaustion here. But do you want to put your short hat on? No. You can't put your short hat on yet. You have to wait until we break some key levels, and we're going to talk about what that looks like. Let's take a look at what the trend looks like on the intraday coming into today's session. On the 4-hour, you've got a technical gap, and likely to come sideways here and come down. I'm looking for a rotational day today, but the trend itself coming into the RTH session is still to the upside on the 4-hour. On the 30-minute, a little bit different story. We had, and this is a good example of a tech gap with a close based on time rather than on price. We gapped up, and then we just went sideways, and we closed the gap, and then we rejected the 9 EMA, and we continued up. But now we've come, and we're getting into this consolidation stage until we got to the job report, and we spiked up on the last 30 minutes. Let's take a look at what the 5-minute looks like. And there's a nice, this is a good example of a FUBAR tech gap Mr. Sneaky. So you get a gap up, and create this technical gap. You get twice the volume. It's a borderline FUBAR because the wick is not as big as I'd like it to be, but then you got a Mr. Sneaky, and then a rotation back to close the gap. Rejected the 20, and then we've gapped up again, and likely to just go sideways coming into this open with a little bit of a downside rotation to close the gap in around 41.50, 41.75. But the trend coming into the marketplace of the RTH on the 5-minute is with a bit of a trend coming up, and you want to watch for a break of this 9 EMA and a break below this 41.75 to even think about getting short. So let's take a look at what this looks like on the big picture. Oh, that's my Globex. Sorry, that my composite. Not the gold composite. I'll get it right. All right, and I'm just going to bring the bigger picture in here. Of course, for the longest time, we were chopping around in this longer microcomposite with the VPOC being in around that 65 and a quarter. And if I move this to the back, you can also see that our composite VPOC was also at 65 and a quarter. So they came up here, they shifted the most accepted price in the long term up to 65, rotated around it, accepted value at 65, and then they broke out. And then they went up to the first microcomposite VPOC, where they tried to hold value after going up and making an all-time new high at 1898.50. Came up here after breaking out of balance, accepted the value at 1890, 1890 50, I can say that, 1890, 50, 1890 and a quarter, and then they broke out again. Came up here, accepted value higher at 1907, 1908, broke out of that, came back down, tested that VPOC at 08, 07, 75, found some responsive buyers, broke up again, and came up here, and then they accepted value in here around this 1921.75, and then they broke out 2 days ago, and then we were talking about this yesterday that we're likely to go into price discovery and go and make some some new highs. And our target yesterday was 1938.50, and you can see as they came up. I'm sorry, it was 1938, not 1938.50. They came up here, they accepted value, and you got the CHVN now here at 1938.50, and then overnight, they just went sideways. We only had, I think it was less than a 2-point or less than a 3-point range overnight. They just held value in around this 38, all night, and then on the jobs report we break out and we go and make a all-time new high. So let's take a look at what this looks like and start moving our numbers from our Globex over to our trading chart. So overnight, we basically chopped around in this range, in around 38.50, 38.75 was the VPOC prior to the news, and then we had our news, and we pop up and shifted the VPOC higher at 1943. And so our overnight high right now is 43.75. Our overnight low is 37.75, just below our VPOC from yesterday, and our overnight VPOC is now shifted to 43.
I'll do a download, Doug. I'm still showing the VPOC at 40.50.
Okay, do a download for me, please. All right, so now we've got the same scenario that we had going on yesterday, is we're going to open up outside a range and outside of value. Our value area high from yesterday was 1940. Range high was 40.75, and we're currently trading 43 and a quarter. So what do we look for when we are outside a range and outside of value? We look for the fact that we could get initiative buyers stepping in and just ripping us higher. Remember, we've got that energy point and that targeted move up here at 1955.50. So I'm going to put my target in above at 55.50. And just going back over to the homework sheet, I just want to go back to the daily report, and we've got 1943.75. So right now our ATR target to the upside, our 20-day ATR target is 1951 to the upside, and to the downside is 1930 and a quarter. And just we don't have any other news today other than consumer credit coming up at 2 Central, 3 Eastern. But this was the big news, and this made this pop in the marketplace. So for me, the line in the sand in terms of how to trade this is going to be at this 1940 and a quarter to 1940.75, and it's going to be basically you have to wait to get below 40 and a quarter or above 40.75 to the short or the long side. Up here,
I still show 40.50 as the Globex VPOC, Doug.
40.50?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll do another download when we're done this. But this will coincide then with what I'm looking at here. So up here, Can you get short? Yeah, you could take your shots, but it's the risky trade. Right now, the risk is all to the upside. There's no edge up here. So I'm going to say the same thing that I said yesterday, is you have to wait, okay, until you get back inside a range and back inside a value before you can even think about short. And you really, even taking the short, you want to take it as scalps. We've got a very tight range overnight. We've got a little bit of expansion on the news to make this all new high. If we open outside of value and outside of range, we're likely going to take out this overnight high and go and put a new all-time high in here. If we get below the range at 40.75 and inside value at 40.25, you can take some scalps, but that's all you can do. You can't start getting majorly short here because we could come down, find some buyers, push through, take out the overnight low, and test this 36 area, and then bounce from there. And personally, to me, I'd be waiting. I wouldn't even use the 36.25. I would use 34.25. 34.25 is your CLVN, and we could bounce off of there. So I'm going to make this a trade area here. And if we get below there, then I'd be looking for a retest of the 50% of the significant breakout candle, which we had yesterday. There's your significant breakout candle. And the 50% test is going to be down here to 30.75. So until we get below this 34.25, I would be looking still to the upside. You can do some scalps once we get into the range and below value, but it's got to be tight, and it's got to be get in, get funded, get risk off the table, move your stop up, and smoke a little bit of hopium, for a move down towards 34.25. Below 34.25, then I'd be looking for a move down to take out the 50% of the significant breakout candle down here at 31. So that's going to be my first target down here is at 31 inside of value. Of course, the first target inside is going to be the naked VPOC, then naked close at 38.75 and the overnight low. We've got three beautiful targets right there with a push through to test the LVN and the CLVN on the composite. Below that, look for a rotation down to 31, and then once we're in this middle of the distribution, we had two distribution zones. The VPOC shifted up from this 27, and remember that range high at 27. Your value area low is 27.50 right now, and I'd be looking for the 80% rule to play out once we get below this 34. So I'd be looking for responsive buyers and targeting this this value area low here. Below that, then we're inside of the prior day range, and I'd be looking for a move down again to test this this 21 level, which would be the range low and the value area low from the prior day down here, where we found the responsive buyers and this V bottom that that we had. We talked about this V bottom in the trade room yesterday. So that would be an area that I'd be looking for responsive buyers. Below that 21, then we're inside of the prior balance that we just broke out of, and the value area low is down here at 18.25 with the CLVN just above it at 19.75. So the first target below is going to be this 19.75. And then if we get below that, I'd be targeting this this range low at 16 and 16.75, and then below that, everything is going to shift to this 13. Now, I'm going to make this as clear as I can say it. Below the 13.50, that's where you can really start to think and put your short hat on for a move down to test the 1907.75, 1908 area, but it's really this this 1903 area all the way down to 1900 that I think we're going to come if we get below this 1913.50. We got a lot of repair to do on the auction, all the way down here to this 1897. So 1913.50 is where you really can start thinking short. So I'm just going to put that on the chart with your first target down to this 12. And this is where I'd be, looking at, do we find responsive buyers down here for another rotation back up? And, below that, you've got a target down at 07, 75, 08 area. And then the big number below that is going to be this 03.50. These numbers are all the same numbers. And below 03.50, accelerate your short. Start piling on because we're likely going to come down and repair this gap down here and this unauctioned territory and come and close this gap in this naked VPOC down here at 97 and 97 and 96.50. Above, there's really no guidance. Okay, where we went and hit our measured move at 31 and 38. The next measured move up is this 55.50, and then we have one at 66. So again, as long as we open up outside of range and outside of value, look for them to come down and test this 40.50. That's your trade. Get long off of that if they reject the range and the value, and look for a move to take out the overnight high. It's hard to get into a trade here in any type of a short. If you see initiative buyers coming in here and you want to take the long up here, you get long and you put your stop below the range and the value down at 1940 and a quarter or 1939.75. That's the trade. I mean, that's the only trade we've got to take this morning. Inside of value, inside of range, get short into the 38.50, 37.75 for a scalp with a push through to 34 and a quarter. If we get below 34 and a quarter, accelerate to the downside for your target at 31, but you still got to keep it tight. Short, the risk is all to the upside right now still, as we're in this blow off top with nothing above us to guide us. Let's take a quick look at the Russell. Same thing here. You're going to open outside of range and outside of value. Your value area high is 54.30. Your naked close is 53.10, and your naked VPOC. And it's the exact same scenario in terms of the ES. You want to be looking at this range high and value area high. Above us, we've got guidance here because of the fact that we're not in all-time new highs. The first resistance to the upside is this 1160.40. If we get above 1160.40, you can look for a target up here at 63.20. And then the other side of that balance is 64.90. And above that, you've got to be looking for a target up here at this 1170. Oh, come on. All right, and above 70, the other side of that balance is 71.80. And I just want to take a look at something. Where is our next microcomposite VPOC? Really nothing up there. You got 74 and 77 with the big one being up here at 87 and a quarter. So 74 77. And then what did I say was the big one? 84? 87.10. Now I don't think we're going to get up there today, but we've got to look at what the possibilities are. All right. And then below value and inside range, you want to target this 52.43, and then you've got the CHVN here at 51.50. And the other side of balance is all the way down. It was at 42 and change. It's now shifted down to 41, but you've got the prior microcomposite down here at 46, and you can see that we've got this LVN down here at 46. And then below that is going to be that 42 area. 4160 now. 4180 is what I'm going to use. 4180. And then, you know, below the 41, you've got that 39. I'll show it to you at 39. I mean, I don't even have to think about these numbers. They're just in my head now. 39 and 37. Come on. And the other side, and the big key number below us is, you know, you've got the value area low from yesterday at 34, but it's 31. You know, this is the number we've been, you know, looking at trading off of this 3150, you know, between 3150 and 32. That's the key line for me for a bigger retracement in the Russell. And then you can target, there's the 29 area, and then of course down here at this 26 range low. And below 26 you've got 24, but the big number below is this composite VPOC down at 21. So 24 and then 21 is the big number below us, because that's going to be a magnet once we get below that 31 again. 21.2. So that's what I'm looking at on the Russell. And again, same thing. You can't be, you can't be thinking anything but the upside above range and above value right now with a test of this first area at 16.25. If we get above 16.25, get long into 63. Can't do anything until we get below 54.25. If we get below 54.25, get short into the naked VPOC to close and the targets below. Just keep it tight on the short side until we get below this 46. And then I think you can look for that test of 42 area again. Going over to gold. Well, we came down. We were holding value up here in around the 94, 93. It's our composite VPOC going back to 2008. We broke out of this balance. We said if we got below the 66 area, that we'd likely rotate down and test that 41. I've been saying that forever. I was hoping it wasn't going to happen because I was still holding my long. My stop was at 75.25, and I built that swing position for a bigger move on the cup and handle formation on the daily, and I was looking for that move up. We came down to this 44, 41 area found buyers, and now we're coming up. Right now, we're trying to get back above this, and hold above at 56 CLVN. If we can stay above this today, I'd be looking for a rotation up to test 59 and the 66 area again. And above 66, you've got 75 and 77. But I think if we can get above the 66, then we'll get a bigger retracement back towards the composite VPOC, and with the main target right now at 85 and the value area low at 87. Anything above this 77, I think we're going to get a move back up into this 93 area. And then, of course, I've been looking at 98. It's now shifted to 99. But above 99, I'm going to be starting to build a swing position in gold longer, especially because I think that this is going to coincide with the move of, a bigger retrace on the major indices. That's basically what I'm looking at. If we hold below 56, look for a rotation down to 53, 50, and a test of that 50.75. Below 50.75, I'd be looking for a move back down to the microcomposite VPOC in around 44, 45 area with another test of that other side of balance down here at 38. And if we break 38, the big number below us, you got 33.80, but the big number below us is that 1927, which was the microcomposite VPOC where we held before we made the big move up. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. As always, trade well, trade safe, and this is going to conclude the morning pre-market session.